Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. And me and the brothers having another late night session. You know, it's still Yom Juma. So, we up and at it. Doing, make sure it might not be the third yet. But yeah, we come. But anyway, late night session, man. Juma, and what we actually having is a Aqidah class, right? This is a Aqidah class, alhamdulillah. So this isn't like your Aqidah class where we just be like Aqidah is the 5, 6, or 7 pillars of Aqidah. This is a Aqidah class. So what we dealing with right now on the Aqidah class and breaking it down, we dealing with the angels, right? As you can see up here on the board, the Muaqibat, right? Muaqibat. And so, because of the video about praying in a house with the pictures came up, and not being able to have angels in your house. Now, that's why us with the late night session with the brothers in attendance, right? We're having an Aqidah class about the angels. So you told anybody who understands Aqidah, and then for the ones who don't like the word Aqidah because Aqidah is some Wahhabi Salafi stuff, we just going to refer to the ayats in the Quran, right? Where the ayat in the Quran says about the belief in the, matter of fact, I'm going to pause it. We still gonna hear, but I'm gonna pause it for YouTube and take a second and pull up the ayat real quick for the ones who don't like words like Aqidah and those things. 1 second, Daqiq. Okay, alhamdulillah. So, Surah Al-Baqarah, Surah 2, ayat number 177. For those who don't like the term Aqidah and they consider that Wahhabi stuff, Salafi stuff. So we're going to use this Quran ayat for this Aqidah class. And for the ones who don't like hadiths, and hadiths is superstition, and don't like the verses of Aqidah, the hadiths about Aqidah, right? So Surah 2, ayat number 177. Yeah, take all the notes. I'm going to ask y'all a couple of questions too. So be prepared to answer some of them, right? So number inshallah. So Surah 2, 177, right? It is not our beer that you turn your faces towards the east or the west. So it's not righteousness just for the simple fact that you turn your face to the east or west. But al-bir, which piety, righteousness, acting in obedience to what Allah commands, obeying Allah. But al-bir is for the quality of the one who believes in Allah, who believes in the last day, who believes in the angels, who believes in the books, and who believes in the prophets. Now, so right there, that's 5 pillars, as some say, pillars of Aqidah. But there's 5, a list of 5 of them from Quran al-Kareem. And then it goes on. So, with this Aqidah class, we're doing the angels, okay? With the pictures being in the house and the angels can't enter. When you up on the correct Aqidah and you understand Aqidah, You have to understand what exactly does belief in the angels consist of. Not just believing that angels exist. See, one thing about Aqidah, you got to have the correct beliefs, not just believing that Allah is Allah. You got to have the correct beliefs about Allah. You have to have the correct beliefs about the last day. You got to have the correct beliefs about the angels. You got to have the correct beliefs about Allah's book. Not just saying we believe in the Bible and we believe in the Quran. We believe in the Old Testament and the New Testament. Those books that they walking around, that you could fall into incorrect beliefs about the books. You could fall into incorrect beliefs about the prophets. You understand? You have to have the correct beliefs. Where do the correct beliefs come from? Quran, Sunnah, Ijma. Not what your homie said, not what the old double OG, triple OG said. Not what it starts Quran, Sunnah, and Ijma, right? So we start with the Quran for the ones who don't like the word Aqidah, the ones who don't like the Hadiths, and the ones who just feel certain type of way and feel like this Aqidah class is Salafi stuff. So right there, belief in the angels, right? So now what we're discussing is, what is some of the jobs of the angels? Why do you want the angels in your home? And why is it so important, right? And what are some of the things that cause the angels to not be around, or cause the angels to be offended? A harsh environment. So, okay, hold on one second. I keep bumping my table. So what we gonna do is touch a few tafsirs, and I got a bonus one, inshallah. So what we have is the mu'aqibat. If you go to Surah 6, ayat number 61, where it refers to the Quran as the Al-Hafidah, right? Al-Hafidah. These is what's referred to as the guardian angels. So, a correct Aqidah. Now, just because this is me pointing, this isn't me meaning Tawheed, because sometimes when people be like, this the best masjid, we this, that, or they just talking, or they doing this, don't automatically assume because I did that, because somebody jump up and be like, look, I holding up the one finger on that bit, I had this video. No, that's not what I'm doing. So if y'all see me doing this, it doesn't mean that at all. You understand? So, for the ones who've seen the video about holding on one finger, because I already know somebody be in my comments like, look at I doing that. Well, lie, I'm not doing that. So, for those who have pictures, or they believe people in their family and relatives that passed away are they guardian angels. Y'all watching over me. No, that is shirk. Y'all associating partners with Allah. But Allah let us know in the Quran, which is the guardian angels, a loose English translation. The angels that sent to guard over you. Right? And this, you could, for those who know the Arabic, you can see the terms and stuff in Arabic. So, from the correct Aqidah, is it from the correct Aqidah? Because we believe in the angels, right? And there's angels with multiple jobs. Guardians of the hellfire, questions in the grave, move the clouds, thunder, especially when you get into that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love when I'm hearing thunder and lightning and this and that. I know them angels they moving things. You know what I'm saying? Them angels is out there. You can go read that in Suruto Arad. That might be one of them. But anyway, matter of fact, we're going to open up some of Suruto Arad. But it speaks a lot about the angels and different things, right? And when you know what it is, so you have to believe in all this. So, first question before we get to this. How many angels do we have day and night? How many angels guard us? Okay, let me put your answers down. So one brother said 2. One brother said 2 angels. Okay. Another brother said 4. So we have a toss up between 2 and 4. So 4 brothers is saying 4 and 2 brothers is saying 3. Alhamdulillah. So let's pull up Surah 6. Again, Aqidah, belief in the angels. Let's dig into some of this, what we supposed to believe. Not only believe, but know about these angels. That way we can give our deen its true rights involving the angels. And knowing that what their job is, we need to aid and assist them in being able to guard us. This is from the correct Aqidah, right? This is from, for the ones who don't like the words Aqidah, this is from Islam, the deen. You understand? This is from the deen of Islam. So Surah 6, ayah number 61. Write that down. Yeah. We're gonna get into the, not in this, but because we talking about how it's from Islam, we're gonna start to bust down the difference between the religion and the deen. The religion is the religion. The deen is the way of life. Part of our way of life is part of our religion. So there's a difference between the deen and the religion. They can go hand in hand, but your deen is a way of life. You have to live Islam out. So if you're not living in accordance with Islam, at least 80%, then it's safe to say you're not on your deen. Some people think because they make salat, that means they on their deen. You know what I'm saying? You following aspects of the religion, but Islam's supposed to be your whole entire way of life. So to be on your deen means more than just a few aspects. In reality. In reality. So Surah 61, where it says, Allah Azza wa Jal, where it says He reigns supreme. He is, Allah Azza wa Jal reigns supreme. Allah Azza wa Jal is the irresistible over His slaves, over His creation. And Allah Azza wa Jal sends guardians, right? Sends recording angels as watchers over us. Sends angels as guardians over us. Would make them what? Guardian angels. So, right at this point, Quran al-Kareem, all that, your favorite relative, your grandparents, your brothers, whoever, those are not your guardian angels. People that passed away. They're not your guardian angels. Our guardian angels is real angels. So for when people pass away and y'all think they done earned their wings and their halo, no. You know, you associating a partner with Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah sent angels to guard over us, right? And then it says they've been sent to be guardians over us and to write down. So that's showing you two things. They're recording, writing down what we're doing, and watching and guarding over us, right? Until death approaches one of us, right? And then when that main angel, right, takes the soul, and these angels is never going to they're never going to neglect their duty. This is what their job is, and they're never going to be negligent of it. Okay? They're never going to be negligent of it. They're going to take care of that business when it's time for you to go. So now we can expel that myth with the people who feeling like these pictures, and you got obituaries of people passed away with what they could what they think is angel wings from a kuffar aspect, what the Christians say is angel wings, you know, and these halo things and all of that, you know, and you got them all up in your house, obituaries, like, you know. No, those aren't your guardian angels. Keep in mind, this is correct Aqidah. This is from the Deen of Islam. You gotta have the correct beliefs about the angels, not just believing that angels exist. So let's touch a tafsir real quick. Let's touch a tafsir real quick just to see something. Pardon me. I just wanted to see if that tafsir was going to say how many it was. So as we still delving into it, we'll get to what the correct answer is. I'm not going to vote. So let's touch Surah Al-Arad. Let's go to, that's surah number 13. Let's go to ayat number 11. Right? Ayat number 11. So now it says, for each one of us, for each person, for each human being, there are angels in succession, in front of us and behind us, and they guard us by the command of Allah, right? And verily Allah will not change the condition of a people as long as they do not change the state themselves. And it's both sides. So if you in a good condition and you in a deen, Allah not going to take you off of it unless you start to change that. And then if you in a bad situation, it's not going to get changed to a good situation until you start to make those changes. And just by noticing that, me and the individual, you know, we don't see eye to eye on this community. Everybody want to save the people. But that right there is something that, what I just read is something that I want him to see. Until these individuals start to change the condition of their self towards the good, Allah isn't going to change it. Allah isn't going to change it. Sometimes we want for people what they want for themselves. Just like you have a family member, or you have different people who may be an alcoholic, and you want them to not be an alcoholic no more. You really want that for them. You know what good could be for them. But until they're ready to stop being an alcoholic, you can't fix them. they got to take the steps to not want to be an alcoholic no more. So when you see people living addicted to certain lifestyles, and that's how they want to live, you can't change that. They got to start to change that condition for themselves first. You know what I mean? So like it says, right? And Allah will not change the people, will not change the conditions of a people or favor them until they start to change their own situation, right? And like it says, changing their state of goodness themselves by going from a good state to a bad one by committing sins and being ungrateful and disobedient to Allah. So if you see individuals that you know, this is from the correct Aqidah. And the reason why it's mentioning that them angels is there, because all this tie in. If people is committing a bunch of sins, they being ungrateful to Allah Azza wa Jal, because Allah might be blessing them with the means to aid the Muslims, but they just doing the wrong thing with it, right? And then they being extremely disobedient to Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah is letting it be known. Allah not going to change their condition until they start to change that. And if they're in a good situation, they not going to get turned to that until they start to do them wrong things themselves. Allah telling us in the Quran, right? And then it says, and when Allah wills a punishment on a people, nobody can turn it away. Nobody can do away with that punishment. Nobody gonna be able to protect them people. Nobody gonna be able to fix them. The only person gonna be able to do something about it is Allah Azza wa Jal, right? So when you look at some of the tafsirs, Allah states that there are angels who take turns guarding each servant, some by night and some by day. These angels protect each person from harms and accidents. Quick question before we continue. What do the angels protect us from? Anything that y'all can name. So, one says the angels protect us while we sleep. Our son. So, that is accurate. When you sleeping, the angels protect you. Do you know that's one of the most vulnerable states that you can be in? Sleep. A person, anybody could do anything to you while you sleep. Do you know that the angels protect you while you sleep? That's our son. And when you are awake, the angels protect you while you sleep and when you're awake. Why you wouldn't, so not just outside of Salat, why you wouldn't want the angels in your house to protect you while you sleep? You could fall asleep eating something and getting ready to choke in your sleep. The angels might protect you. You could stop breathing at night. The angels can protect you, right? If this is the decree of Allah Azza wa Jal. So, what else? Anything else? Anything else? Nah. They protect you from the jinns / shayatins, which is basically evil jinns, devils. So they protect you from the jinns, mankind, male and female. So this is what the angels do. That's accurate. That's accurate. Animals. Or some translations that say like wild beast. But you don't understand. You could go outside. A squirrel might attack you. A squirrel can attack you and give you rabies. Raccoon, like where we had, to be raccoons galore outside. A raccoon might attack you. The angels protect you from them things. And when you get into the hot deeps, it say when those type of ills or those type of harms come towards your way, the angels like shoo them off. Be gone. The jinns. Why you wouldn't be? And see, one thing about you really want the angels to protect you from the jinns, because some of the was, some of the jinns can play with your mind. The jinns can possess you. They can cause you to become Majnun. They can affect your way of thinking. This is why you want the angels in your home, not only just for prayer. You see what I'm saying? You want the angels around you in order to be able to protect you. Right? Let's continue on just a little bit more, right? So it says, the angels guard the person by the command of Allah. So Allah is commanding them to guard you. That's also, when you see that, that's also to let you know if Allah command them to not guard you. If Allah decrees something to have them move up out of the way and let it go on, they're going to move up out of the way. If you put them in a position where they can't be around, what's to it? But you don't understand the dangers of how you can be affected. You can have children in a home and the angels can't be in a home, right? But the jinn can be in there. As a matter of fact, it could be the type of environment that the jinn leave, and the jinn play with your kid's head and your kids leave Islam. Because the angels wasn't there to protect them, see? See, and this is something I want to explain to people why we at it. And y'all brothers know this. Some of us who grew up in Christianity, it was some things in Christianity that we didn't accept. It didn't make sense to us. I want to inform y'all something. It's some things in Islam that don't make sense to y'all kids because the way the world has changed. Some kids don't understand, well, why we can't have some of our favorite pictures up in the house. That don't make no sense to me. See, these are the type of the things that the shaitan and the jinns play in your kids' mind. Why we gotta be doing all this praying? Because it's too many Muslims that attach material and good life to Islam and not Jannah. Oh, if you ain't praying and you ain't doing this and that, then you're not gonna have this and that, and then your friends go to school and have Kafir friends that live better than you. Well, they ain't praying 5 times to have that nice car. Matter of fact, we ain't even really living all that good. Because people keep teaching the wrong way. They not teaching about Jannah and Allah Azza wa Jal and the protection that the angels give. So it's things in Islam with their child mind that don't make sense to them. And I'm knowing this because I talk to children. Me and people who have conversations. It's certain things like that some of my kids, like they had a best friend who accepted Islam, and then he started, that shaitan and them jinns started playing in his head and was like, how can it be Allah and Allah don't have no parents? Allah not a human. You understand? Allah not a human. Humans need parents. Creations have parents. But the jinns and they start putting those was in their head, and then they might start making your kids have that. And that's why you got to beware of your company, because somebody could say something good to you, and then that whisper might get in your heart. So it's continuing on, right? So these angels, they take turns. Hold on. Allah states that there are angels who take turns guarding each servant, some by night, some by day. These angels protect each person from harm and accidents. Harm and accidents. We're going to put that down too. They also protect you from harm and accidents. You might you might done fell real bad and could have broke your ankle. Now this is by Allah's command, right? So it said they protect you from harm and accidents, right? And there are also angels who take turns recording the good and evil deeds. So now y'all seeing there's a distinguishment. So that's going to let you know it possibly ain't two. Because you got angels who's doing the garden, and then they separating and saying it's angels that's also doing the writing and recording the good and the evil deeds. Now keep in mind, it says they're in succession. Some in front of you, some in behind you. The ones who's doing the protecting. So the ones that's doing the writing, one is on the right side, one is on the left side. So that means the ones that's doing the writing can't possibly be the ones that's in front of you or the ones that's in back of you. So that right there should let us know, just from doing what they call deducing, that shit right there should rule out two. If it's saying in Quran al-Kareem there's angels in front of you and angels in back of you, and then there's angels on the right and the left, that's at least four. That's at least four. But let's dig into it. So then it says, there are angels who take turns recording the good and evil deeds. Some angels do this by day, and some angels do it by night. There are two angels, one to the right and one to the left of each person, recording the deeds. The angels to the right record the good deeds, while the angels to the left record the bad deeds. There are also two angels that guard and protect each person, one from the back and one from the front. Therefore, there are four angels that surround each person by day, and they are replaced by four others at night. Two scribes, two guards. So the correct answer would be, alhamdulillah, 4. Muwakibat Hafidah. We have 4 guardian angels. Or if you want to say 2 guardians, because 2 writing, but they all guard. So you have 4 angels surrounding you by day and by night. And for the people who familiar with the hadith, what I refer to as a shift change, where they change during Fajr, and anybody know the other time? Nah, we gonna save that. Okay, so let's see. So therefore there are 4, right? Authentic hadith states, angels take turns around you, some at night and some by day, and all of them assemble together at the time of Fajr, and Aki was correct, and Asr. So the group that was at night, that come at Asr, they stay all night until Fajr. That 4, when Fajr come, that 4 come meet with the new 4, and then that 4 stays from Fajr to Asr. Alhamdulillah. So that's correct. Shift change, Fajr and Asr. Then those who have stayed with you throughout the night ascend to Allah, who ask them, and he knows the answer. Allah knows best, better than you. And he says, how have you left my servants? These are ones who leave at night. They reply, as we have found them, praying. When we showed up at Fajr, they was praying or getting ready to pray. When we showed up at Asr, they was praying or getting ready to pray. If that was your state, if that was your condition, and see, like for us brothers who have late night sessions, what's getting written down for us? What were we doing with our night? We had a late night session, and then we prayed Qiyam al-Layl. We prayed Tahajjud, not together. Once we end our classes, we go to our, because, We not in the same place. But look what we getting written down for us. Look how pleasant of a thing that is for the angels. Plus the bonus one that I'm saving, something that the angels do when it comes to seeking knowledge. Basically, I'm going to go ahead and get to it, because if this get too long, I won't read it. But basically, when you seeking knowledge, you leave your home, you seeking knowledge, and you doing things to seek knowledge, the angels lower their wings, right? There's some different meanings to what that means, to make sure a particular mercy get on you, different things like that. Plus, we get to make du'as for each other. And what happens when you make a du'a for somebody with some sincerity, right, and some good intentions, then the angels make that same du'a for you. You want the angels in your home so that you can get all of that. Look what me and the brothers is getting written down for us. Right now, where I'm at is 1:43 a.m. For some of them, it's almost 3 a.m. where they at. And this is what we getting written down for us. And when we hit that third of the night, Allah comes down to the lowest heaven. We ain't got time for the ones who say Allah can't move and all that. So be it. But Allah is in the lowest heavens. And we having a late night session about the Muwakibat, which is what? Aqidah. Belief in the angels. It's not just believing angels are a real thing. We talking about what the angels need to do. So when you don't have the angels in your home, it's a strong possibility you could be missing out on this. And one of the most dangerous ones is them jinns and shaitan, because you don't know how to fight them. And this right here comes with a lot of waswas. This right here comes with a lot of misguidance. You can be thinking certain things about Islam. So right there, when that go off right there, it's third part of the night. Allah Azza wa Jal is in the lowest heavens. And what me and the brothers doing, we having a late night session. You know what I'm saying? The angels is writing this down for us. This is Aqidah. This is the religion right here. This is the deen. So this right here, understanding all this and doing what you got to do to keep the angels around you, is part of living that Quran out, part of living your deen out. You know what I'm saying? So just to continue, and then it says, the hadith where it says, verily, from every person, they have a jinn. They have a companion from the jinn, and they have a companion from the angels. If you don't have those angels around and you in a situation where the jinn is always going to be around, who going to affect you more? Who going to affect you more? Huh? So, we know, and I feel sorry for the Muslims who have dogs in their house. So we know pictures, right? Whatever you want to category them as. Pictures, certain paintings, posters. Angels don't enter the homes with those. Dogs. Angels don't enter the homes that have dogs. Statues, idol type things, and like I say, stuffed animals. Like, people have stuffed animals of a dog. These things ain't nothing but fur statues. What's the difference between an iron dog statue and a stuffed animal dog? They the same thing. They're images. You understand? So with these things, and like certain toys, they just not huge statues. They're little statues. They're little statues you can play with. trophies. Angels don't enter the homes with those. Another things that harms the angels. Let me get to a hadith, and let me hurry up with this, because we in different time zones and brothers want to get to their prayers, you feel me? So we gonna use Sunan Nasa'i. It's my man. Some of the people who during his time, they say he was just as cold as Imam Bukhari. Imam Bukhari just got the name, but they say when it comes to him and Bukhari, he was just like Imam Bukhari, Imam Nasa'i. So when you go to his hadiths, this is one thing. So let me ask y'all, what's the ruling? I like to say the ruling because a lot of people don't really know the full thing. Why, when a person eats garlic and onions and different strong smelling things, why they can't go to, why are they advised not to come to the masjid, to the salah? So my man said, offensive smell. The smell is offensive. Some people don't know that. When you eating a lot of garlics, which I'm going to give some people a hadith, there is a hadith that does says, until the smell dies down. And then like some of the hadiths say, if you cooking it, cook it to death where it gets rid of a lot of the smell, basically. Just cook it to the point where the smell is not real strong on it. But why? So what's the full fiqh on it? Other than just being an offensive smell and it harms the believers. Let's go to the hadith, a fuller version of the hadith. So in Nasa'i, it was narrated that Jabir said, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever eats of this plant, the first time he basically said garlic. Then he added garlic, onion, and leeks. Right? So this was referring to a raw. And then like it says, when you go to the other hadiths, if you eating raw onions, if you eating raw garlic, and then if you're not cooking it till where the smell is up out of it. So it really started off as raw. But if you cooking it, cook it till you kill the smell. But it says, so if you eating garlic, onion, leeks, do not approach us in our masjids, for the angels are offended by that which offends mankind. That offends us. That offends us, and it offends the angels. Right? The angels can't be around bad smells, strong offensive smells. So like in your home. Now look at this. And just because I did this, don't mean I'm talking about some tawheed or this is a statement. PSA. Alright? Anytime you see me doing this, it don't mean none of that. So look, check it out. So in the Taqreej, right? And I'm going to put this up here, even in the Arabic. So some things about Bukhari and Muslim don't have this, but when you come to your books, some of your Sunans, and right here, see in Arabic, it's have what's called Taqreej, an explanation, some commentary to the hadith, right? So it says, since the mosque are the abodes of the angels of mercy, coming to the mosque having eaten something with a bad odor, whose disgusting smell is likely to spread on one's opening when one's open their mouth, right? And while belching is prohibited, such things harm both angels and worshippers. So apart from the three things that's mentioned above, any substance that causes bad smells is forbidden. For example, hookah, right? People who like to smoke hookah, even if the hookah is apple scented or peach scented, like they doing these vapes, cereal vapes. Because vape ain't nothing. Vaping ain't nothing but a sophisticated way of smoking hookah. Just because your hookah smell like Fruit Loops and strawberries and cream and may taste like it, it still harms the angels. So hookah, cigarettes, even chewing tobacco because your breath smell like tobacco, right? And we ain't even got to mention loud marijuana smokes. What they used to call it loud. We not even gonna mention the Muslims who smoking that in their home. What the angels gonna be around you and you smoking some super duper strong, powerful marijuana, Snoop Dogg weeds, and some of the stuff like the Muslims got around there on the counter when you're going around there, corrupt moon rocks and some of them super strong smelling weeds in your home, in your car. And that's why a lot of people trip off me, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I burn real beautiful, sweet smelling incense in my car. Most used to be loud like, man, because I'm pushing a hoopty. I work in a real dirty factory, so I be pushing a hoopty. They be like, man, we burning incense in there, man. You act like you got a brand new car, because I want the angels in here. I want the angels to be. I want it to smell extremely good in here. You know what I'm saying? I want it to smell good in here. Just like Bakur and different things you can smell, they burn the masjid or the homes. That ain't nothing but an incense that ain't on a stick. It's in a brick or a block or something. So that's real talk. So just think about that in your homes. Not only pictures and not only this. Some people smoking weed in their house. Some people vaping in their house. Some people eating a type of food where their breath is extremely bad. Just like there's hadiths about miswhacking your teeth because you don't want your breath to harm the angels, unless it's the breath of a fasting person. So these things harm the angels. And like I said, anything that's offensive to, we talking about Muslims that's on the deen, it would have been offensive to Rasulullah and his companions, because we so desensitized by the type of ways of living, of life that we done live. It's very little that's offensive to us. You understand? Well, somebody can run down our street butt naked and we not even offended by it no more. Somebody can be outside, two people could be outside our house fighting and they got knives and all that. We'll watch it. Watching somebody get their whole face and head cut. We don't have that like on. We gonna bust our phones out and record it. There's very little that's offensive to us. So we're talking about things that, those things also offend the angels. So things that would have been offensive to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions, that also offends the angels. You understand? So that's the full fiqh on it. Going to the masjids with these bad smells, people smelling like marijuana nowadays in the masjid, people who drinking, your breath smell like a fifth of Hennessy. This also applies. You know what I'm saying? If you can't smell like something halal, garlic and onions, it's permissible to eat them. They're actually good for your health. You can eat these. These are halal. You think you could be smelling like a fifth of Remy? You know what I'm saying? Smelling like a distillery? Of course not. These type of things keep the angels away from you. They keep the angels away from your homes. So when you own the correct Aqidah, and again, this don't mean that foolishness. So when you're involved in Aqidah and you want to live Aqidah out, not just be able to say, oh, it's belief in this, belief in that. This is following all of this. Is putting Aqidah in perspective in your life, actually living it out, from the pillar of the angels, the Mu'aqibah, the guardian angels. Let me close. What? Couple more minutes. I got let's see one right here. I think I done lost my page. Okay. This is the one about seeking knowledge. And I'm going to touch tab serious. I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. Because one Muslim hit me up when I was talking about... Now, I'm going to say something that some of y'all probably don't know. There's actually some Muslims, and y'all probably could Google this. It's very rare in America, but overseas, there's actually some Muslims that believe that there's 6 pillars in Islam, not 5. And they not Shiites. Okay? And guess what that 6th pillar is? Jihad. They feel like jihad is the 6 pillars. They feel like they have to live for it. Try to Google it. Now, once you start studying and you get in certain classrooms and you talk about different things, you will see that some individuals believe there's 6 pillars of Islam. So one of the individuals who feel like there's 6 pillars of Islam didn't like in one of my videos while I was discussing the hadith about when they was going to jihad, and the Rasul informed some people, some young people who wanted to go fight. And they, not only the Rasul, because even after the Rasul, some of the Caliphs and different things informed some of the youth who wanted to go fight, no, y'all gotta stay behind. Somebody need to learn the deen. Somebody need to stay there and teach the people. Somebody need to stay around and protect the women. They didn't like that. They don't like hadiths. And, so, they said some things to me. So, I'm going to kill 2 birds with one stone with the angels. If you go to, and this is what I be meaning about people not well versed in their Quran no more. Right? We're going to go to Surah Al-Tawbah. Ayah number 122. But I'm going to use Surah Al-Qurtubi. You know what I'm saying? Because we touching a lot of books tonight. We did Sunan Nasa'i. We going to do Sunan Ibn Majah. We going to use Tafsir Ibn Kathir and Tafsir Qurtubi. Show all of them some love so that hopefully it'll be some Sadaqah Jaririya for them, and it could be some benefit for them in their grave that we use in their works, and that each one of us grow from it and benefit from it, and they get some benefits in the grave, and it weigh heavy on their scale of good deeds, right? It weigh heavy on their scale of good deeds on the day that they gonna need it the most, Now, the beauty of it, that is me going through that dua, not that intention, because I do that, but like I spoke on it. The angels just wrote down that dua that I made. The angels, walhamdulillah, with my sincerity, I'm only pointing it out, not to show off or not anything like that, but the angels will make that same dua for me. And Allah Azza wa Jal, walhamdulillah, is in the lowest heavens right now. So while they make that dua for me, while Allah is in the lowest heavens, calling out to the ones that's making du'as, that's a powerful dua to make at this time. And then hopefully some people take from me and do these same type of things. This is Islam. This is Islam. So Surah At-Tawbah, ayah number 122. So it says, right? It is not necessary for all of the believers to go out all together. If a party from each group of them were to go out so that they could increase their knowledge of the deen, they would be able to notify their people when they return to them, so that hopefully they would take warning. So some of that translation, the way it's worded, we gonna use Tafsir Qurtubi instead of me busting it down. Ibn Kathir, because they both give some different things, right? But look, and it is not proper for the believers, for all of the believers, to go out to fight jihad all together. Now, this is closer to the Arabic. It is not proper for all the believers to go out to fight jihad all together. Of every troop of them, a party only should go forth. Only some of them should go forth. And then some of them may stay, that they may get instructions in a religion. Some need to stay and learn the deen, right? And so that the ones who stay and learn the deen, they may be able to go back to the people and stay with the people and warn the people and teach them about their religion, so that they may be aware of all the evil. So it'll say right there in Quran al-Kareem, for the ones who believe jihad is a sixth pillar, so they feel like the hadith is fake, the youth was supposed to go, there's no telling them to stay and learn the religion instead of jihad, so that somebody is around to teach the people and warn them about bid'ah, warn them about kufr, warn them about becoming deviants, warning them about being lackadaisical in their deen, warn them about not taking care of their business so that the angels can do the job that they were sent to do before you change in a good condition that you in to a bad one, and now Allah might allow you to fall in some certain type of things and tell the angels, move out the way and let that car that I just sent down happen. You understand? Somebody need to go learn the religion so they could teach the people that. So right now, for my guy, and we good people, I like to talk to them because they a little knowledgeable. Although they still have yet to show me this 6 pillars from where jihad is the 6th pillar without distorting the Quran, but I know it ain't the 6th pillar. I know it's only 5, but I'm still waiting on him to bring me something. I don't care who he go get. Y'all gonna have to bring it if you want me to accept it, which ain't gonna happen. But right here in the Quran, and this is you need to be more well versed in your Quran. Right here is the ayat about where everybody is not even fit. All the men ain't supposed to go on jihad. All of them not supposed to go on jihad, man. Somebody need to stay and learn the deen. Some people need to go, instead of going to jihad, they need to go over there and sit with them scholars. Like I said in the video, go sit with them scholars, learn that deen, learn Quran, learn Sunnah, learn fiqh, and go back to your little area and teach it to your people. You need people to be imams of the masjids. You need people that's going to protect the women and the children. Not even from physical harm, but from falling into kufr. Not knowing how to teach their religion to their kids. It's in Quran al-Kareem. This is what Allah Azza wa Jal said. Hey, y'all can't sit there. That ain't right. It's not befitting that everybody goes. Some people need to go learn their deen, and then they need to teach it to others. They need to teach it to their particular village, because that's how it was then. Wherever you live, your area, the people you around, even if it's just the people you in your house with. You know what I'm saying? Plus, everybody ain't built for jihad, baby. You might be in the way. You know what I'm saying? Some individuals just walking casualties. Like even some cats, man, who been out there gang banging. On some occasions, you had to tell certain individuals, nah, you stay home. You might be about it, but if you get pinched, if them people come pinch you, you gonna yell, ouch. Them people come pinch you, boy, you gonna be sitting around yelling, ouch. For those who understand, some of y'all need to go home. Go learn something more productive. to help around the house. You ain't built for jihad. I know some individuals right now, man, not even that physical fighting jihad, but trying to protect that ummah with the conversation and talk to people. They ain't even got it hard. They ain't even got it in them to tell some of these corrupt Muslims, they did this here, man. This here, we not doing that. I don't care who you call. I don't care if it's the leader of the masjid. This here, we not doing that. Some of them ain't even got that in them. Real talk. They ain't even gonna defend the ummah. They ain't gonna defend the ummah with words, you know what I'm saying? But we ain't going to that. So in Tafsir Qurtubi, let me read a little bit of Ibn Kathir. I promise y'all, inshallah, we finna end in just a moment. So just to read a little bit of the Tafsir, right? Where it says, so Ali bin Abi Talha reported from Ibn Abbas about the ayat, and it is not proper for the believers to go and fight all together. The believers should not all go to battle and leave the Prophet alone. In the expedition, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam sent some. When these armies returned to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who in the meantime received revealed parts of the Quran from Allah as a wajel, the group who remained with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would have learned that revelation from him. They would say, Allah has revealed some parts of the Quran to our Prophet and we learned it. So they learned from them what Allah revealed to his Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the absence of the ones who was fighting, while the Prophet sent some other men into the military expeditions to fight. And like it says, so that they may give instructions in the religions to their people. So they was able to go back so that they will be aware of evil, right? And what they need to stay away from in the bid'ah. So this is where certain groups stayed with the Rasul to learn their deen. And some of the more tafsirs reveal how the obligations that we had to learn the deen. In some instances, learning your religion is better than going out there fighting. Some instances, right? What about us now? So in Tafsir Qurtubi, it busts down a little bit about the hadith I read about how the angels. In fact, I did read it. I stopped. Let me read the hadith. I'm hurrying. I see what. Okay, so it was narrated that Zir bin Hubayshi said, I went with Safwan bin Asal al-Muradi, and he said, what brought you here? I said, I am seeking knowledge. Right? He said, I heard the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, there is no one who goes out of their house, or even if you seek knowledge in your house, there's no one who goes out of their house, there's no one that seeks knowledge, but the angels lower their wings in approval of this action. So like right now, the ones who with me, we seeking knowledge. Some of the stuff for me brushing up just to discuss this with them, that's me seeking knowledge. The angels lowered their wings, right? We've made some du'as towards each other. I made some du'as for others. Allah Azza wa Jalla is in the third part of the night. Inshallah ta'ala, those angels, and I'm not going to say inshallah, those angels made the same du'a for me in accordance with what's in Islam, as long as I'm in that good standing with Allah Azza wa Jalla. So Tafsir Qurtubi kind of break down that, like some say the angels lowering their wing, or the same ayat, and showing the importance of seeking knowledge, that the angels lowering their wings is so that particular mercies will be held up on you. And then like some of us who actually live in a masjid, just got a bedroom in the back. See, there's a difference between a house that has a prayer area and then the whole house is for worship, and then it's just a bedroom in the back. That's what I live in. So I treat all this with the same respect that where you would go to, as far as the angels being by the door for Juma, everything. So I want to close on this, man. And y'all brothers, man, note this, man, because we going to discuss this when we get to discussing the difference. And in the meantime, just use Google if you have to. Google what's the difference between the deen and the religion. Is there a difference between religion and deen? And take as many notes as y'all can. Y'all know I'm going to ask some questions, and we going to get to it. So we also going to discuss this. And I was having a conversation with a brother, and I had to speak on this. Because a lot of people in this day and time, there's a hadith that says a day is going to come when, not ignorant as in dumb, but ignorant in just not having knowledge of a thing. Ignorant people are going to ask other ignorant people a question. And then those ignorant people is going to answer it. And then when they answer it, they're going to misguide themselves, and they're going to misguide the people who asked them the question. Because they're not going to answer from knowledge. They're not going to answer from Quran. They're not going to answer from hadiths. They're not going to answer from fiqh. They're going to answer from something they've been told or what they think it is. Sometimes they have been told something from Quran and Sunnah. But it's starting to get to the point where people not answering like that. They saying from what they feel. So when we ask questions, and we starting to see more and more people getting like that, it's awareness that these signs of the hour, these things are starting to happen. We in 1446, so the year 1446. So this, we talking about, of course, 1400 some years ago, and we starting to see more and more of this. So like I told them, a lot of people think because they use the words Quran and Sunnah, and they made that they think that they teaching, oh man, we on the Quran, we on Quran and Sunnah, we on Quran and Sunnah with the best understanding, this and that. And there are other people who don't buy into the best understanding part. We teach a Quran and Sunnah. So I sit down and said, man, can you imagine some people talking about they teaching Quran to people and they ain't even never read the whole Quran. They ain't read none in Arabic with understanding, and they don't read no tafsirs. How you gonna teach Quran to somebody? You ain't even never sat down and been taught. When you go sit back and look at the hadiths where the angel Jibril used to come and teach the Rasul Allah Azza wa Jal and go over the Quran with him every year, that didn't just mean recitation. Understanding what should be understood. He was teaching the Rasul Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam the Quran. If Rasul Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was taught the Quran by Angel Jibril, what make us think we don't need to be taught it? We think we could read something in English, and just like how I said, I spoke on something I fell into, where I seen something in English, it said angels don't come in a room. And then another person seen something that said angels don't come in a house with pictures. So I couldn't read Arabic, but then by the time I could read Arabic, although the book said angels can't come in a room, when I looked at the Arabic said house. So sometimes the English translations can be misleading. People ain't even read the whole Quran trying to argue. Ain't read a tafsir. You know what I'm saying? Ain't read no hadiths involved with the ayat. Nothing. And if you notice what I'm doing, I'm tying the Quran and hadiths together. Just like the individual want to argue with me all about the hadith, that wouldn't do this, Jihad, the 6pillar. Okay, that same hadith I spoke about, you can see it in the Quran ayat. That's Quran and hadith. They go hand in hand. They busting down the situations. Then the tafsirs bring it both together. But we not familiar with our Quran. And then people talking about they teaching people the Sunnah. You ain't even read 10 pages in the book of hadith. How you gonna teach people the Sunnah when the Sunnah come from hadiths? Let alone people who talking about they Sunni Muslims or they believe in the Sunnah, but then say hadiths ain't real. Hadiths ain't superstition. Hadiths ain't needed because of fiqh. But how you teaching people the Sunnah then? You don't even know no hadith. Any hadiths you either been told, you may have seen some on the internet, you may have seen somebody quoted it, but how many hadiths have you laid your eyes on yourself from authentic books? Bukhari. Because sometimes you could look in a section, sometimes a hadith may be 2-3 pages long, and then they'll take that 1-3 pages and bust all the different rulings that can be extracted out of it and just put it in a paragraph, a hadith, a few sentences with a ruling to it. But when you read the whole entire hadith, it could be more to it. It may be 15 hadiths on that subject that give you a better understanding, and they get stronger the more you read them. But if you ain't never read the books of hadiths, you won't know that. How you out here teaching Quran and Sunnah to people, and you don't use tafsirs? You teach hadiths. You ain't even read hadiths. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying no. It's some excellent teachers out here, excellent. And then some people, they say to me, "Oh, how can you talk this way? You don't use these fancy terms." Because I'm not trying to be nobody teacher. I'm not trying to be nobody leader. I'm the Muslim homeboy. I'm just your homie. I'm not calling to me. I'm not trying to establish a following. You know what I'm saying? I don't want that responsibility on a day of Yom Kippur. That's not my intention. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not trying to be nobody leader. I'm not trying to be the leader of the community. It's a small few people. Some people, we get together like this, and some other people, they just hit me up with a question here and there, and I try to aid them, assist them the best that I can with some dalil. But so I'm not like a public figure. I don't work for a particular masjid, and I don't care if people jump up and say, you know what, it's the Sunnah to wear all white. We kicking you off the minhaj, that type of stuff. Kick me off. I bet I still be on it. So there's certain things, I ain't trying to present myself in a certain way. I'm just the Muslim homeboy. You feel what I'm saying? So, alhamdulillah, man. This is just to give people also. And look, this mean in 1 minute, not Tawheed and none of that. But I'm finna close. I promise, Sheikh. Inshallah. What I was finna say was, this is an Aqidah class, but on a pillar of the angels. So not just believing that angels exist. You got to know the functions. You got to prepare yourself, because you're going to have to deal with angels in the grave. The angels have a specific job to protect you from accidentally killing yourself somehow. Dying in your sleep, choking to death on some gum. Somebody messing around and could be wanting to come in your house and harm you in your sleep. Falling out your bed and breaking your neck or something. And may Allah protect us all from that. But like some people, man, who people came in, killed them in their sleep, man. Of course, the angels is there to protect you from certain things. Why wouldn't you want them there? And then for the ones who so fixated on people passing away as their guardian angels, why would you even need the angels? Why would you care? And for like some of the young people I know who live with their parents, and they don't have no choice but to pray in a house where there's pictures. It don't invalidate your prayer. This is just a circumstances you can't help. Just try not to pray facing the pictures. You know what I'm saying? Because You stuck in between a rock and a hard place. Some people just live with their parents. It might be a super duper crazy thunderstorm where you can't pray outside. It might be a crazy blizzard. It might be a flood. You probably can't pray on your porch all the time, or in your basement if you have a basement. Some houses don't have basements. If you live with your parents, or you live with some people, your wife family took you in, or for some of the Muslims who had girlfriends, you might live with your girlfriend family. Y'all might be young. They got pictures in the house. Man, make your salat, man. Make your salat. You understand? If you're in a situation like that, pray in the house, man. It don't invalidate your prayer, but it makes sure in them prayers you saying to Allah, please forgive me and help me get up out of this situation where I can get away from this. Some people just don't have no choice, man. Some people stay with their mother. Some people stay with relatives. Some people stay with a friend or two. Fall on hard times, man. Sometimes it just is what it is, man. If you in that situation, they got statues, they got crosses on the wall with a dead body on it. And you got to make salat and you can't go outside. There's no, hey man, pray. You know what I'm saying? Like I work at a big factory. Like a lot of people who don't even consider, I pray at work sometimes, where they got pictures of people who own the place and CEOs. Although it's a huge factory and I'd be upstairs, but there's pictures of people in there. They got ads, they do a lot of advertising, so it's big people, pictures of people advertising their products and all that. It's people in there cooking pork pizzas and eating bacon, like wallahi, people showing up with ham sandwiches and all type of pork and swine products. I know the angels ain't in there. People walking around smelling like marijuana and vape and cigarettes, crack. Some people be smelling like crack and meth. I know the angels ain't in there. But I gotta pray. I can't always get outside. I'm gonna pray in the building. I got a room upstairs. Everybody know I'm Muslim. I got a rug and everything in there where I can go in there and pray. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes in the break room. I done prayed in the break room, man, with a break room packed. People move out the way. They let me get the little corner. But it's in there smelling like bacon and pepperoni pieces, sausage. People talking about sex acts and, I know the angels in there, man, but I got to make salat, man. So if you in one of them situations, man, make salat. Make salat. You know what I'm saying? Some of these people, you married, you in a blended family. Necessarily, they might not wasn't raised up on Islam or maybe a different version of Islam, and they got pictures and stuff in the house, man. And you can't really get out and pray. Man, pray in the house. Get you a little area where some of that stuff ain't at. Even if you had to. Like, I'm going to be honest, I knew a particular brother who was in certain situations like that, and they would open up a closet door, kind of with the direction, and put their rug, and they would pray with their head facing in the closet. Do what you got to do, man. If you in a situation like that, and you have to pray in there, and they really not at a place in this deen where they ready for that, or that's a hardship, or they don't really see that as part of the deen, and you still with them, and you're going to choose to be with them, pray in the house, man. If you have really no other choice or no alternative. And ask Allah, man, to help you and to aid you, assist you, and make istikhara about it. Because you got to make that salat, man. It might be 10 feet of snow outside one day. What you going to do? You gonna go pray in 10 feet of snow? You know what I'm saying? Man, you better pray in there. Because it don't invalidate your prayer. And we just talking about circumstances where sometimes people just can't change the circumstances because it's not their home. It's not their home. Like I say, I know brothers who, married to non-Muslim women or women who haven't really grasped that stronghold of deen like that, and they got dogs in the house, they got pictures, they got all this and that. You gotta do what you gotta do, and it's their house. So the brothers, it ain't like it's the brother home and this and that. It's their house. Do what you gotta do, man. Do what you gotta do, and ask Allah for some ease to change that circumstance. So I'm sorry, y'all, man. I'm blabbling, rambling, and we gotta get to the prayer. Like I said, it's later for some people. Any mistakes I made came from the shaitan, came from myself and the shaitan, and anything I said that was correct came from Allah Azza wa Jalla Muqtadir. I apologize for going too long. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.